Hey, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Today, has officially marked the end of my sophomore year. Now, the actual last day of school is next Wednesday, but I have taken all my finals and I've done all those things, so it is officially it. And I couldn't help but make a video of just the whole thought of thinking about this whole thing in general. I'm getting ready to become a junior, and it's almost hard to believe everything that's transpired this school year. I remember just being a freshman and walking into high school not knowing what my classes were. I knew the school because I was in the school in July right before school even started, and I didn't know what my classes were. And it took me a while to find it out. I messed up finding my third period class several times just as a freshman, and I'm already getting ready to be a junior. And it's just really crazy to me of how fast time moves on. In a way, it kind of scares me because I want to live my life enjoying the time I have as a teenager right now. And I've always can see the future, and it scares me of what life leaves ahead when I actually leave high school. And so, becoming a junior is going to be a big price. This school year was a lot different than last school year. Last school year was a very stressful year, but I can't say that it was bad at all because there was a lot. I made a lot of friends. It was a lot that I did, and really all this school year was just a push for me to be a better person, to be better at what I do. My whole goal for this school year was to be the best I can be in everything I do. And in some ways I achieved that. At least I felt like I achieved it. But then in other ways I didn't. And it's crazy because I think back to just being a freshman and coming to school. And I remember my first day of school like it was yesterday. And I remember when I was convinced to join the band, and then I ended up joining the band, and I've been with the band ever since, despite all the ups and downs that happened in ninth grade. And then the fact that a lot of things has happened this school year has made me not want to be in it. It's still crazy, but I've still been in it, and I've been a part of some very memorable moments that have taken place both last school year and this school year. And I joined the wrestling team, had the confidence into doing that in ninth grade. That was my goal. And, as a ninth grader, I didn't achieve as much success in wrestling, but when the last match came, the final match of the season, it was right before the final match of the season, I won my first match, and it was the most memorable moment as being a first-year wrestler. And then coming into this school year, it was pretty much the same thing, except I performed a lot better in my matches. My record didn't improve that much. I just had 4 wins this season, 2 wins last season. It didn't improve that much at all, but I had a lot more matches this season, and a lot more had transpired. So, just to think about being a junior and what it brings scares me, because before I know it, the day will come where I'm a senior and I'll be walking across the stage when it's graduation time, and it really, really scares me to death, because one thing that I fear more than anything else is the future, and I just don't know what the future will bring. And becoming a junior is going to be absolutely crazy. This school year, like I said, time is going by way too fast. Started off this school year, through a lot, went through band stuff, and I went through a lot of band stuff, and I did stuff with the band, and I was more into it this school year than I was last school year. I was in every single big band event that they had this school year. I participated in every event that we had. Every time we had a performance, I was there. And I was just really more hyped, trying to make a name for myself this school year. And in many ways, I don't feel like I achieved it. But then, like I said, in some ways, I felt like I achieved it. And when I joined the wrestling team, like I said, had the same goal, because this goal just retained to everything. Academics, it retained the extracurriculum. And I'm the type of person where if I'm achieving in one, I'm not achieving in the other, I'm going to be pissed. So, or if I'm, so even with wrestling, it was the same thing. I wanted to achieve, and in many ways, I felt like I didn't achieve because of the fact that I lost a lot more matches than I won. But the practice and the amount of practice and the amount of hard work actually showed in a lot of the matches I had this season more than it did last season, even more. And it's just like, with the amount of stuff that my body, with the abuse that my body is taking, it really makes me wonder if I even could be able to wrestle next school year, even though I want to, and even though my coach Preston keeps talking about me being captain, my old coach and all that stuff. I just don't know, honestly, if that could, but time will tell. And as of right now, I have the mindset of wrestling next school year, but it's just a lot that really worries me based on the amount of issues that I've had this school year, because I had more issues wrestling this school year than I did last school year, and it's absolutely crazy. And like I said, with band, I'd been in it from July of last summer all the way to June of this year, consistent. I came, tried to build my chops, learned all the music right away, went to band camp and all that. My first experience in band camp was last summer, and it was like, I stayed with the band even throughout wrestling season. I would still come to band events, and I stayed so consistent. I was there in some of the biggest moments that we had this school year that we went to, and it's absolutely crazy. And once wrestling season was sort of coming to its close, where it wasn't done yet, but it was like in between, like it was in the middle, something else happened this school year. A lot happened this school year as far as me achieving, because like I said, this goal to being the best I can be in everything I do, it wasn't just something that I had where it was just wrestling and band and academics. This just retained to life. And I don't know if next school year I would change this goal, honestly, as becoming a junior. But it just makes me want to be a more stronger person, and to actually being into this goal, actually like trying to make this goal be accomplished. And in many ways, I feel like it could be done. But then in many ways, I feel like there could be a lot more to make it more sufficient, to make it more believable, to make this seem as if it's actually being achieved. And so one of the things that happened to me, in which I was really, at the time, surprised that it happened once again, was this. So in ninth grade, and I've never mentioned this on the video before, and I have made a video where I explained all the girls that I've liked throughout the time that I've been in school, and I don't really want to get into that video because that's a video that was in the past. But anyway, there was a girl I liked in ninth grade, and I stayed liking her for a long period of time, and she was one of the wrestling managers. And at first she didn't know, and then I told her, and then I tried to do this friendship thing, and then I gave up right on the spot because I saw it wasn't working as far as trying to actually get with her. But the point of me bringing this up is this. In 10th grade this school year, something happened to me that was pretty similar to what happened to me last school year. The reason why I started liking the girl like the last school year is a completely different reason I started liking this girl from this school year. midway through the school year, it was like second quarter edging the third. A random girl came to our school, and she happened to be in my class. And it was weird because when I first seen her, when I first would watch her, because I always observe people. It's not like I'm stalking them or anything, but I always observe people, to see how they are and stuff. And when I first used to like look at her and stuff, she seemed kind of weird because I would see that she would look like she'd be talking to herself, like when she would have assignments and stuff. And it was weird to me that I had seen this happen in school, because I'm not gonna lie, I do that myself at home. I talk to myself a lot at home, and I've done it in individual times, but I had never seen someone do that in school, so it really kind of was weird to me. And then all of a sudden, because at first she used to just stay to herself, at first she didn't really talk to anyone, and then all of a sudden one day we was talking about an assignment in class, and she just randomly spoke to me. And ever since then, we had continued to talk. And as we continued to talk, I started to see, hey, this is a pretty cool girl. And I started to like her. At that time, I just, I didn't think nothing of it. I was just talking to her. I was just like, hey, this is a pretty cool girl. And then we just kept talking about different topics, and would always sit together and everything like that. And all of a sudden, that's when I was like, hey, you know what? I think I like this girl. And it took me a good little while to feel that way, because everybody always used to make jokes, like boys in the class would be like, so do you like, they used to ask her, so does she like me? And she used to be like, no, and no, 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 and no. And then she would say, oh, well. And then one time she was like, oh, well, I like someone else. I already like someone else. And I just hate when people do that, when you actually like someone, and then someone's up there teasing it, trying to say, do y'all like each other and stuff like that. And then the other person is saying the opposite. So I was just completely getting irritated that the person was saying this. So it was like, I continued to talk with her, and I really started to see some things that I had never seen in any girl that I ever talked to. Like I seen her being one of the nicest girls I've ever seen. And it wasn't even just about her being nice. It's the fact that she was nice, and she wasn't one of those type of girls that is always with this certain group of people. Anybody could go and talk to her, and if they're not mean or anything, she'll respond back to them. I saw that she was very communicative. I saw that she's very social. I saw that she was socially awkward too, but it just really kind of was, like, to me, really interesting. Then all of a sudden I was like, hey, I think I like this girl. They asked me, and I said, yeah, I like her. They said, are you going to ask her out? I mean, are you going to ask her for her kick or something like that? I said, I don't know. At the time, I wasn't really trying to do that. And then it just happened so random that I just so happened to get her kick. And it was like weird because I didn't want to do it, but then my friend had came to her and asked her for it. She was like, so Raekwon wanted to know what your kick was, and she wrote on a sheet of paper, and then I wrote mine on a sheet of paper, and then we try to get something going there, try to keep a friendship going there, because I wasn't going to tell her right away. I kept it secretive at first, and so it was really weird, the whole thing this school year with this, because with this girl, unlike any girl I've ever liked, I really saw something different with her. And as becoming a junior, one of the biggest things I hope that could happen is that we can eventually, because like I said, I really like her, no doubt about it. I still do. And I I just really hope that that next school year something different could take place. But you know, that remains to be seen. So unfortunately, well, as always, I'm gonna have to make a second part of this video because I don't want to be cut off. So guys, stay tuned because part 2 of this video will be coming soon. So stay tuned.